All right, good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is having a good morning. Welcome to the pre-market show. Good morning, Norm. How are you doing today?
Hey, good morning, Carlos. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Doing good, doing good. Ready for the day. See what the market has for us today. We got a nice gappers list here. Pretty green this morning. A lot of green around the board. So looking forward to see what that has for us today. As usual, guys, let's take a look at our gappers, at our watch list from yesterday. Here's what we had. So interesting watch list on here. We'll take a look at those, and then these are some possibles because some of these guys were reporting yesterday. Some of them were moving all right, but this was my actual watch list right in here. So let's get started. Let's start with the first one, ABBV. This one on here was look at this drop, just amazing yesterday. So let's take a look at how this traded at the open. Again, this was dropping nicely yesterday. Let's look in here. Here we go. So this was definitely the play of the day yesterday. I mean, this thing just kept leaking, just constantly just dropping lower and lower. You can see here it was a beautiful opening range, a breakdown, the 5-minute. You could have gotten in here pretty early as well. I saw some traders get in around this area also. Brian took this short as well very early on once it started selling down here. So that was a beautiful trade. It was tough to get into this 5-minute, right? Because you didn't know what to expect, right? Here's your opening range breakdown. Here's your 5 opening range. And this thing gave you no pullback. I was waiting for a pullback. No pullback came. This thing just started dropping. So it's a little tough because sometimes these stocks tend to, pull back a little bit. So it was a little extended from VWAP. So not an easy trade to take. But even if you got in on this 5-minute range breakdown here, again, turned out to be a beautiful trade with a nice little drop that came after that. Then you got another pullback here. This was a great pullback, and then right back down towards the low of the day, and then it cracked some more. So again, just a beautiful downtrend on this stock here yesterday. Then from after 10:30 or so, it just became pure chop. We're waiting for this to bounce back or do something, but again, just overall for like an hour or two, just chopping around, not really doing much at that time. With volume too, it did have some volume during this time, but it just wasn't trying to do either break up or break down. AMD is another one we had on our list. Again, this traded very choppy. It is on an uptrend, right? It did get higher here, but again, just look at these candles, right? Each one overlapping the one before. Just not very clean. The one looks a little cleaner, but again, it's just if you look at the 5, I mean, what strategy are you taking here, right? There's no ABCD pattern forming here. There's no opening range breakup forming here. So again, just not very clean on any type of strategy here. It did find a top over here. Just was very heavy around this 29.73. Actually, where the price is at right now, 29.70. And it just couldn't break that, and it started selling off. Once it came below VWAP here, you got a nice pullback for a loss of VWAP, and then it does really lose it nice. It goes right to the low of the day. Right on here, you got a moving average as well. So that was a nice drop there. Comes back up, tests his view up again, does not go above it. Like this could have been a good place to add or even get into this trade. And you can see here a nice drop all the way down to 29. So AMD traded well, just not at those first 30 minutes or so and to an hour or so were not clean. But after that, you got some really nice moves here. 2 really nice moves. Again, just very clean. You can see the loss of VWAP here. Comes back, tests his VWAP, cannot go above it, cannot hold it, and then drops right back down. MU was pretty much choppy all day. Really didn't do much. Again, they had oops, I changed it here. Hold on. They had earnings yesterday, so I think a lot of people were just waiting to see what was going to happen. Sold off after into the afternoon, but at the morning, look at the morning, just pure chop. Just this is not clean. There's no patterns here. I tried to take this for opening range breakup when it did this pullback here. It looked like it was going to hold and take off. But the market started selling off here, and it kind of dragged it down a bit. So I think it would have pulled off here, but again, with the market selling off the way it did right off the bat, it really dropped this, pulled this down a bit. Next, we had Teva. Teva was great. This is a hard strategy for me. I'm not great at it. It's V reversals. Does a V reversal, VWAP reversals right back to it, so it loses VWAP. You can see here it finds the bottom, starts making higher highs, higher lows, and then it takes off. Right, not an easy strategy to trade. And here it holds the VWAP, holds the moving averages, gives you another opportunity to get in here for a long. You can see here the squeeze very nice all the way up to this level. It's a very strong move here after doing this V reversal, and then from there it did go higher, but again it's just kind of chopped around here. So you have to be patient to hold through this. If you had a good entry at that point, you was able to hold. I think Peter got in really early. I think he got in somewhere in this area here in the chat room. So again, just caught a nice move off of Teva there. ARQL was another one we had on our list. This one was not as clean, had a nice pop here, good opening range breakup, but again, I saw the price action on this one wasn't looking too clean, so I didn't take this one. Then you had a nice drop here and then right back up. So that was the watches from yesterday. Actually, if you looking at them now, some of them did trade a lot better than they did yesterday. Looking at the pre-market yesterday, we thought we were not going to get no opportunities, but looking at it now, there were some opportunities that, like if you're watching the right stock, like ABBV was one that had again just an amazing drop here. Good opportunity for a short. All right, guys, so now let's take a look at what the SPY is doing. I see a lot of green, but I haven't seen what the SPY is actually up to. So let's look at that. Let's see what news we got today. We had a couple of earnings after hours. And we'll get into that in a second. Norm can go over what we can expect today. Some of the earnings that happened yesterday, like MU, that should be very active today.
Are you asking?
Oh, sorry, Norm. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, SPY's up 1/3% this morning. It actually was up pretty much high, a pretty good amount higher than that earlier. That all came as Treasury Secretary Mnuchin mentioned that they were 90% of the way to a trade deal, and then I guess that got misconstrued a little bit, that he meant that a couple of months ago or a month ago they were 90% before the Chinese kind of pulled back, according to their side of the story. So we're still up, just not up quite as much as we had been. We did have earnings last night. FedEx and Micron both had earnings last night. Micron actually fell short on their estimates, but their guidance, especially anybody that pays attention to the semiconductor space, their guidance indicated that they're seeing an increase in demand for DRAM and NAND chips, which has been really the downturn of the semiconductors in the last probably 15 months. Since about spring of last year, they've been on a pretty considerable downturn. So that is indicating that. That's why MU and AMD are both popping. What else we got? FedEx released earnings last night. They're up a little bit this morning, almost 2% gap. Their earnings were not. Their earnings were so really, but they indicated global economic concerns, trade war concerns, and such. FedEx is important because it's really a bellwether as seen for global trade, since they deliver so many packages in so many countries around the world. So just a couple things there. Overall, it is a pretty quiet day again on earnings. This whole week we've got the G20 coming up. Let me see one thing. On the thing here, apologize. I had a little fumble with my notes. BlackBerry reported this morning they're flat. Rite Aid's after hours. There's a couple of home builders that are reporting right now. Lennar reported, I believe, yesterday or the night before. KB reports this afternoon. So overall, not a ton on the earnings front. And then as far as the economic calendar for today, we've got a couple of things here: durable goods, CapEx, and some trade info came out right at 8:30, which is probably why the market just took a tiny bit of a dive. It's not much, but it's off a little bit from when that info came out right at 8:30.
Got it. Excellent, guys. All right, let's see what we have here. So let's start over with MU. MU up 8.6. As you know, these guys reported yesterday, so they had a good forecast going forward. So here at the moment they're up 8.6, 976,000 shares traded. As you know, guys, MU doesn't trade that much usually in the pre-market, so it's definitely one to watch today. It's definitely going to be in play. Pre-market action still not looking too great, but again, you have the daily here breaking out of some levels of resistance that it had before. It's just chopping around here on this daily chart. So it finally broke out of this area here. Let's see what it can do today. Here we have AMD. AMD is up 3%. Again, just kind of basically kind of following what MU is doing a bit here, since they're in the same areas. 741,000 shares traded so far. and choppy pre-market action right now. Not looking too great on the pre-market action. So again, we'll keep it on here as well. It also looks like it might want to break out of this resistance support area. You have some moving averages here around 30. So we'll look into these levels a little closer. But again, it looks like it definitely will be in play today. FDX not doing much right now, as Norm mentioned, but they're up 1.9. Not much volume at the moment, but this could be a good one to watch today. Yesterday, I took them, I had them as a possible. Let's just see how they traded yesterday. So yeah, they provided a nice drop here, as you can see here. So they got a nice pop to VWAP and then finally lost it here. So again, so they traded okay. Let's see if today we can get a nice move out of it. From our gappers list, we had ABBV up here. It just disappeared, probably because it's right under 2%. But this could be a good one to watch today. Possible continuation play from yesterday. So they're up 1.9 today. Pre-market action not looking great. They got the volume, 393,000 shares traded so far. But again, this is what the pre-market looked like this yesterday too. Did not look great, and they had a really nice drop here. So just will be interesting to see what happens today after this huge drop. Was that from 70, 80 all the way down to 65, 22 or so. So again, let's take a look at that and see what develops there. Right now, pre-market action a little choppy. Hopefully we can get something out of that. Next we have from the gappers list now, BYND is here up 5%, 178,000 shares traded. Not a good clean pre-market action right now, pretty choppy, pretty flat. But the daily looks interesting though. You had a nice red day here, nice bounce yesterday. So can it break out of this resistance area here? So if you draw a line, I'm going to do it now because we're talking about it. If you draw a line right here at 162.13, you can see how it was support in this area, resistance here, right? Opened up, popped up, came back down. And today, after hitting this moving average and bouncing back, you know, we can see if it can break out of that 162.13, we could be in for a nice run there, right? So we'll take a look at that. Looks interesting on the daily again, but this stock, guys, is very difficult to trade. I personally find it very hard to trade with the price action. The spread sometimes cannot be too great, so be on the lookout for that if you're going to trade this one today. What's the ATR? Is the ATR dropping a bit now? Nope, still $23.21 on the ATR, guys. So again, just be careful with this one. This thing can move on you drastically. The way to manage that is to take a very low number of shares, right? And make sure you have a good risk to reward. But again, most importantly, just make sure it's giving you some kind of patterns. Lately, that stock, when I look at it, I don't find anything that looks great to trade. But I know others have made money on it, so it is tradable. GBT here is down 5.7, 102,000 shares traded right now. Pre-market action is just horrible. As you can see here, it's just not a great pre-market activity. Half of the volume sitting in this one candle here that's not creating any action. What we want to see that 102,000 shares traded. We want to see them creating some kind of flow, right? Creating a nice pre-market action, creating some great candles that we can actually trade. So
yeah, they're dropping on announcement of a secondary offering.
Oh.
I think like David said there's a 50,000 share block trade in there too. So I'm not convinced that's going to be part of the watch list later.
Yeah,
I do like NVIDIA, and it should pop up on our gappers any minute here.
Yeah, well, with that, let's go right into your top four. So we have NVIDIA. Let's take a look at that. See how
Apple's looking pretty decent today.
Yeah, this should be coming up here any minute. So because it's up 2.2, we have the volume over 100,000. So just for those that don't know, this gapper scanner is here from Trade Ideas, but it's looking for anything with ATR over 50 cents. Is looking for anything that's gapping up or down 2%, right? Plus or minus 2%. And then we're looking for volume. Where's the volume? Right over here. So we're looking for volume over 100,000, right? So here we got NVIDIA coming up now. So obviously it'll populate in Dash Trader Pro first because they're direct access, so you get the information first, and then in a few seconds, minute or two, it'll populate into Trade Ideas. So that's what we're looking for here during these type of choppy market during the summer. Sometimes we have dropped the ATR down to 30 cents because sometimes you have stocks that have trading within that 40 cents, that 45 cents range that will not populate here. That will be in play. This is where you guys come in very helpful because you guys sometimes bring out stocks that do not come up here, that have a good pre-market action, good volume, that are just below that ATR that can be in play for the day. So NVIDIA has a beautiful daily chart here, as we see. It's starting to get a good pre-market action going. With volume, at least, we got to get some more action in here, but it's starting to move. Looks like it's dropping a bit here So this will be interesting to see what it does today, but I do like the daily as well. Let's look at Apple. What did it end up doing yesterday, Apple? Let's just take a look here.
It rejected 200 in there 2 days ago, and then it really pulled back yesterday. So it's an interesting spot right now.
Yeah.
It looks like it bounced off the 9 moving average this morning. So
yeah,
see if it can make another run to 200.
And it's got more volume than it did yesterday too as well. So let's see what Apple wants to do today here. Let's see Roku. Roku up to Roku. Roku had a nice drop yesterday. Down 1.9 today. Again, it's losing this area of support here, guys. You see clearly you have this line right where the previous day closes. So it's losing that, and then the next area of support we can have probably is right around here, 87.50 or so, maybe a little higher. And then from there you got this nice moving average. So interesting. Roku again Roku was very strong over the last couple of days, so giving some back here. Did not expect it was going to drop this much in the last couple of days. This is a big drop here on Roku. So I'm sure anyone that's in here long might start taking profits. We'll see. It's hard to tell. You cannot tell what's going to happen. Nothing is for sure. But this looks very good here on Roku. And what's your other one, top 4, Norm? What's the other one you like? We got Nvidia, Apple, Roku. There's one more. Facebook. Here we go. So Facebook, we are down quite just over a little bit over 1%. Oh, we're getting some action going on out of Facebook now. Price action is starting to pick up here. We have 2 bars dropping with some volume. All right. Also, interesting daily chart. You have 2 bars over here. Again, you guys kind of stuck within this range over the last couple of days. We're back down at this moving average. So let's see if we can bounce from there on the daily. Next level, roughly right above here in this moving average, around 180, 183 or so. So yeah, any news coming out on Facebook now? Seems very active out of nowhere now.
Yeah, I think the president just said that like Google and Facebook should be sued. He's just
okay.
So
yep, that could cause some movements here. So these will be interesting today, but Nvidia definitely looks great on the daily. All right, guys, let's go over NASDAQ active, NASDAQ gainers. Let's see what we can get out of this bunch over here, and then we'll see what you guys have on your end. So ACST, not much happening. 1.3 million shares traded, but again, the pre-market action doesn't look great. It looks also like more of a penny stock. Unit, let me just make sure. Let's go in here and make sure it's not a... actually, it's 25 million shares flow, so it's a lower flow, but not really a low flow. But the issue with these stocks that have a lower price, not the issue, the one thing is that they don't trade as well as the stocks in the mid to large cap, right? The strategies we teach work best in these mid flow stocks and large caps. They don't really work well on small caps, right? So this one's 25 million shares. Also on smaller price range is like $1 or so. Again, it just don't work well with that. So not interested in this one today. Yes, has some great volume here. 1.3 million shares, up 12.4. If this is your criteria, it looks like pre-market is looking a little choppy here, but it looks like it might be finding a bottom here to head higher, but just not my niche here. Unit we traded in the past. Let's see, we have some levels in here. Let's see what we got. So today they are down 2%, 1.1 million shares traded. Unit is 182 million shares flow. ATR is this is a great example here, guys. ATR just slightly under 48 cents, right? 50 cents. So this is why this is not showing in our gappers. It does have the volume. That's the only reason why it's not showing there. So this could be a good one to watch today. Had a really bad day yesterday. Sold off really nice here. Let's see what the action was during the day yesterday. So big drop, then got kind of choppy. Tested this 1029 level, which we had, I guess, from previous pre-market shows, and then it drops right below. We up all the way down to 960. Another level we have from the pre-market show at some point. So again, these levels are everybody else, whoever is trading this, they're also watching these levels we have here. Obviously clear levels at 1029 over here, 960 over there. So a big drop for them there. Pre-market action right now looking very ugly. So we have 1.2 million shares traded, but again, not creating any type of pre-market activity on this. So
yeah, this is a REIT, so it usually REITs don't trade very well.
That is true. So something happened yesterday that caused that drop, and today again, I don't even see where this 1.1 million shares is coming from. It's not even showing here as a possible good trading activity. So we'll skip down for now, guys. If it hits our scanners, we can look at it. MU We have already, as we know, guys, LGCY is a penny stock, so we'll skip that. Nasdaq ETF, GEMP also looks like it's a penny stock, breaking out of a dollar here as well. Let's just check the float. It is 12.9. Again, just guys, anything under a dollar like this, look at the daily. I mean, where do you find your levels? How did this trade? It's just not something we want to watch. So let's skip this. Volatility index, what is it? Should be down. Yes, down a bit here. Nasdaq ETFs. Let's look at Riot. How did Riot do yesterday? Because we had Riot on our list, right? Hit their gapper scanners, or at least the top list. But just look how it traded yesterday, right? So it had a lot of movement in the pre-market, but then yesterday it really didn't do much, right? So it's just pretty choppy here. You have an opening candle that looks like it's gonna take off, but look at this wick down here. That's the scary part about these stocks. It could drop so fast. You got this wick, comes right back up, then eventually finds a lower lows, lower highs here. Looks like you got a pullback, nice for a short. But again, it's just, I don't see anything great on this stock. FPay, nothing happening, no volume. Plug, no activity. Has 128,000 shares traded, but look at this pre-market activity. Just nothing going on here, nothing interesting. REKR, also nothing happening. ACST, we looked at earlier. Again, has some volume, 1.3 million shares traded. A lot of it sitting on this one candle here, which is, look at the candle this creates, right? 312,000 shares traded, and it's basically flat. So again, most of that volume is just sitting on there, not doing much. The next candle also not creating a good pre-market activity. So I just don't like the way that's trading. BOSC, no activity, no volume, only 6,000 shares traded. Next we have Riot. We just looked at this. I guess it's dropping down. Did something else come up? Probably BOST. MU, we have BT, nothing going on, only 1,000 shares traded. SFED, same thing, only 8K traded. And Mara, 27K, not much going on, not a good pre-market activity. All right, guys, this caught my attention. PHUN, remember this one was hot. What was it, like 2 days ago or so? Right, it was popping up nicely. What did it do? All right, so this is the scary thing with these low flows, guys. So look at this pop here. Right, it's got a great pre-market action. Right before the pre-market action starts dropping, you think it's going to take off, maybe open range breakup or something, and then you get this huge drop again. Just be careful with these type of stocks. That happens a lot. You have a nice, strong pre-market action, gets everybody's attention. Next you know, people just start dumping on it, and you have this drop here. All right, guys, what do you guys have on your end? Norm, what do you like besides your top four this morning? I know you like NVIDIA and Apple. Facebook is getting interesting.
Yeah, Facebook, Apple, NVIDIA, Roku. And then just the same stuff really you've mentioned this morning. Might look to see if AbbVie can bounce or if it has a continuation move. I'll keep an eye on FedEx, but it's NYSE. And so nothing aside from the list you already have right now, at least.
Excellent. All right, guys, let's see what you guys have on your end. So let's start at the top here. So I see GIS. What's going on with these guys? GIS. All right, we got some volume starting to come in. 101, down 6%. That's nice. I like that. Daily looks, that's a big drop here from based on the daily. Daily chart's not great, but I do like the drop though. I like the drop. Nice level right around here, around this 50.02. Yeah, we could watch this. Let's see how it develops. The pre-market action right now, though, it's not looking great. What's going on with these guys? They have they're reporting this morning. All right, that's worth taking a look. So did they report already, or are they reporting?
It was this morning. I believe they've already reported. They missed their estimates. I don't know about their guidance. You know, this is General Mills. It's highly institutionally traded. It's NYSE. It's very hard to trade. So just a heads up on that.
Yeah, you could tell with this daily chart is not great, right? Again, it just doesn't look too great. It looks like it's been in play the last couple of days. So that's where you're getting some of these nice pops here and drops. So that's good. But overall, it just looks like it doesn't move much. So, but it'll be interesting. Let's see what happens when they report. We'll check it out in a second. All right, next one we have what else we got going on? Riot and Mara. Yeah, we looked at those. I don't like Riot and Mara. Mara doesn't have the volume, and Riot, where's Riot? We had it here. does have the volume, but just look at this pre-market action, right? On the 5, right? This is pretty crabby right now. Almost a lot of the volume sitting in this one candle here, and almost 96, 100,000 of it, almost half. Again, just not doing much. What else we have? Work. Let's look at work. Work here. Work is trying to put in a bounce. Daily is interesting, right? It's kind of found the bottom here, making higher highs, higher lows this morning. Doesn't have a lot of volume, doesn't have a good pre-market action, but later on this could be a possible to watch for a possible break. You got a moving average coming in here. We got some levels from highs and lows. So again, this could be interesting for a possible, guys. We could throw this on here to check in later in case our main watch doesn't do anything exciting. We can watch out for this in our scanners. FedEx reporting, yes, I have that one. Microsoft. Microsoft, it's got to be in play to trade, because if Microsoft could trade very choppy. Wow, look at the drop yesterday. Did they report yesterday or something that they have this huge drop, or?
No, I can't remember what the catalyst was on it really. They've had a huge run recently and hit all-time highs. It might have just been a technical pullback.
Okay, that could be it. So Paris, yes, this had a great day yesterday, but today not doing much pre-market action-wise and volume-wise. But this stock, again, on regular days doesn't move much. If it's in play, it can do something. But right now, not sure what there's any catalyst or anything that can make it move more than what it is doing now. Teva, let's look at Teva. Teva had a big day yesterday. Today not doing much. Again, the volume and the pre-market activity are not there. It has volume, right? 166, but the pre-market activity is definitely not there. Now I know yesterday it kind of had a bad pre-market activity as well. Not as bad as this, but it's still putting a good pop, good VWAP reversal right to VWAP, consolidated right slightly above VWAP and gave you a nice squeeze over to 897. So again, yesterday had a good day. Could do the same today. Daily looks, this is very choppy on the daily, but it does look interesting because it found a bottom at around 810 or so, whatever that price range is. Could not go below that, and now you're kind of getting a little bounce here. So you could get some kind of continuation today. You do have some levels you can hit here. You have a moving average coming under it. That could be helping it out, but just pre-market action activity wise, I'm not seeing anything much going on there. All right, next we have ADBE. Pre-market activity not looking great. Yeah, not looking great. Higher price stock. Wow, yesterday sold off nicely. I'm shocked. This must have done it with not a lot of volume, because I'm shocked they didn't hit our turbo breakdown yesterday. I didn't see this one on there, but this one sold off real nice. Let's look at the daily. Yeah, it kind of looks exactly like Microsoft. Microsoft did the same thing. Hit this here is all-time high as well. So these could all be technical pullbacks, like Norm was saying also. I mean, look at this drop here. It's bouncing from 287 as well. So again, could have some kind of continuation, but right now, really not doing much, guys. Only 8,000 shares traded. All right, what else we have? Anything else, guys? Like QD? Let's look at QD. QD, not much right now. Let's look at volume is 109, but down 3.2, but not doing much right now at the moment. ZM Zoom's been really active the last couple of days. Look at this drop yesterday. Look at it drop 2 days ago. I mean, it's just been on a tear, and not in a good way, on the way down. So right now, not much activity, but I see what you like on this one, Marek. It's the daily chart looks very interesting on this pullback here. So it could be a possible play later on today. Huya, I haven't seen this one in a while. So Huya also is pulling back here as well. Popping up a bit, 2.6, not great volume, but I see what you're looking at also. You know, again, it had a nice red day yesterday. It could be pulling back here. Could go either way. So we got to wait to see what the market gives you on this one. But right now, not looking great pre-market action-wise. NVIDIA hit the scanners. Yes, NVIDIA, I got NVIDIA here. Again, it's got some volume. Let's see how the movement looks now. Daily looks like it wants to break out of here. Again, no bias, but it just looks like you have this nice level right around here, and it just looks like it wants to pop from here. Maybe hit this 160. That would be real nice. So NVIDIA is interesting. Apple, we have not doing much at the moment. Roku not doing much, but Roku had a nice drop yesterday. Just kind of giving it back here a bit. Facebook starting to get a little active, getting some volume after the tweet that came out from the president. So we'll see how that develops. And Work, not doing much. All right, guys, let's make this list a little smaller. Let's see if anything else popped up into our gappers list. Nope, I do not see that on there. Anything else that's new? All right, guys, let's get into announcements, and then we'll jump into our gappers list. We'll make this list a little tighter and see what's really good and get rid of the bad here. Norm, what do we have for announcement? I know we have some stuff going on today as well.
Yes, as you mentioned today in the classroom at noon Eastern, we are holding our next workshop. It is Peter, I believe, on journaling and the importance of journaling in your trading. So noon in the classroom. And then just a reminder to everybody, we're trying to make sure the main chat stays clean. So if you're in the chat room and you feel free to ask any questions you have, we will answer them. But things about platforms, brokers that aren't directly related to a trade, a setup that you're looking at, a stock that you're considering, something like that, please post it in the off topic. Sometimes that gets overlooked, but we are doing everything we can to make sure we focus on that, to make sure we get to those questions in a timely manner. So really appreciate your help with that. Vancouver meetup, Saturday, July 6th. It's a week from this Saturday. Info is in the forums. You can look at the alerts up top. You don't have to be a member to go to our meetups. You can go meet Andrew. There's a couple of our other team lives in Vancouver, so I'm not sure who's going to that and who is not, but maybe I'll hear and I'll let you guys know. Next Lifetime webinar is June 27th at 8 p.m. Eastern, normal place, normal time. And then, of course, late July 26th, Dr. Brett Steenbarger is going to get involved with us in the chat room, I believe at noon Eastern as well. So I think we're still trying to hammer down the time, but I believe it's around that time. So anyway, really some interesting stuff. And if I forgot anything, Carlos, let me know.
Nope, I think that is all, guys. We have, as you guys know, trade reviews tomorrow with William. He did it yesterday as well. We had, again, just a lot of great stuff going on there. So if you have not logged back into the trade review, make sure you check that out. If not, it's in the education center. You can always go there and look at the recording. All right, guys, let's get into this list. Let's make this a little smaller and see what we can come out with from here. So I like MU. I like MU today. It's got good volume. I mean, how many times do we see MU in the pre-market trading over 1 million shares, right? That's very rare. So today, with their earnings yesterday, they had good earnings. They're up 9.3. Look at the volume coming in now. It's just a lot of activity. Love the way it's trading. Let's find some levels here. High of the pre-market sitting at 36.14. Above that, we have this clear moving average here around 37. So I'm just going to mark 37.08 or so. Very clean. Then above that, look how this 37 also is acting support and resistance here. Just going to get one more above that. I don't think it'll run this high, right? I highly doubt it. But we have another 38.68. Anything is possible. And then we also have that hitting a moving average in this area as well. Towards the bottom, low of the pre-market sitting right around 35.10 to be exact. So we'll mark that down. That's the low of the pre-market. In towards the bottom, I mean, you have this moving average here. You have highs and lows from yesterday here as well. Previous day close. Plenty of stuff towards the bottom. But I'm going to find something within. I don't like this moving average. It's just too close to the previous highs from 2 days ago. Something in between, just in case we sell off. People might be taking profits. You might find some kind of support in this 35.55. You got some days here. Support, resistance. This one closing and opening around this area here, so that could be interesting too. Again, in case we drop this low of the pre-market, people take profits and then it can head higher. Who knows? So again, just like what's happening now with MU, pre-market action as usual doesn't look great. It is a stock that doesn't tend to have a good pre-market action on most days, but today's definitely got some serious volume. AMD here, not a great pre-market action, does have some great volume, 1 million shares traded. The daily though looks very interesting. We've been talking about this for the last 2 days, how it's just has found a previous support around this area, around 29, 28, 90ish, 80ish or so. You can see here some clear support. This was resistance before a couple of weeks ago. Finding a nice bottom here, and it looks like a possible breakout if it can get away from these moving average and this level here. Next level we have possibly is 30, 35. Then above that we have 31, 33. We have this huge one over here, obviously 34, 25. AMD doesn't move that much. I don't think you'll get there. Let's find something in between here, right around here where we have 3 days testing this as resistance around 32.55. So you have this day coming up, testing it here, and here, and then you also have this day drops below that and comes right back up and closes around that area, right? So at 32.55 could be a possible target. And then towards the bottom, guys, you really have plenty. You have the low with the high from 2 days ago sitting right with the previous with the low of the pre-market is right now, so you don't really need to mark anymore on AMD. Again, AMD's got a great daily chart. Hopefully it can break out of that. FedEx not doing much at the moment, but these guys had a big drop yesterday. It's kind of stuck within some ranges now here. Low of the pre-market sitting at 157.61, so we'll mark that down. And then a little higher right here towards the top. The high of the pre-market is basically the high of yesterday, so that's good for now. Then you got several levels towards the bottom, 156.49, and then a previous day close. I think that's more than enough for FedEx. So FedEx, I'm going to throw down here as a possible. Right now, it's not doing much at the moment, so I'll get rid of it from my main watch list. ABBV here had it's just a monster drop yesterday. It's got some volume already this morning, 537,000 shares traded. It is on short selling restriction already, but we do have shares for short. Pre-market action looks horrible, but this reminds me of yesterday's pre-market action too. It wasn't great, but it was able to still put in a really nice drop, a really clean, beautiful drop. So let's remove these levels. Let's find some fresh levels here. So we have the high from yesterday over here around slightly above 70. We have the low at 65. Previous day close around 65.70. You can see that right here. PCL, the previous day close. So low of the pre-market sitting at this will be 66.44. So we'll mark that down. Hitting the wrong hotkey. Here we go. High of the pre-market sitting right at 67.30, so we'll mark that down. And then let's see. I want to get something in between here in this area. That's a big run. I don't expect it to come back that aggressive, but it does get higher. Do we have anything in between there that we can? Yep, right in here. So let's get into this area around April, June. Here we go. June, July. All right, here it is. We have a nice pop right over here. There it is, right here. A drop, actually, not a pop. We have a drop around 69.40 or 69.55. That's a good one there. This is also a good one here. I'm going to mark this one down also. Clear rejection around 75. You see this pop right back down. Then you have this huge run up on these couple of days. Come right up to 79. So you see the loss of momentum here with that resistance. They're able to break out of it, but you can clearly see how they started there. And then once they broke out of that, it just went crazy. Holy cow. All right, so again, pre-market action not great. Volume is great, and I hope we can get some kind of continuation today at a ABBV. BYND is trying to make a run here. Has a good pre-market action. It's got a nice little pattern going on here. Nice little flow to it. Okay, volume up 6.7. I'm personally not going to watch this one, guys. It's trying to get to this resistance at around 162.13. Well, for me, this is just not tradable. ATR is way too high. It's about 23 bucks or so. And I just don't like the way it trades. It's very hard to manage my risk on this stock, so I am going to just remove it. I'll throw it on here just to watch for fun later on, but again, not really going to trade this one. GBT not doing much at the moment, guys. So this is one reporting later, I believe we mentioned, or no? I forgot what this one. No, I'm sorry, that's GIS reporting this morning. GBT is down 6.1. It's got some volume, 126,000 shares. But just look at this pre-market action. Half of the volume sitting on here. Again, I just don't like the way this looks. So I'm just going to remove this one. I'll look for that in our scanners. GIS is reporting this morning. Right now, volume is very low, 109. I'll throw this down here for a possible. Right now, not interested in it at the moment. NVIDIA looks great. Doesn't have much volume, but I like the daily chart on it. This one that I really like here, I think it was Facebook. Facebook was interesting. Did it get better? Yeah, Facebook's got some nice volume here, so I'm gonna add Facebook to my list instead. So I'll watch Facebook out of the top 4. Norm's top 4. We'll remove it from here. Let's get some levels for it. We got way too many levels here. It looks too congested. So let's remove this. All right, so towards the top, high of the pre-market right at 191. So let's mark that down. Then right above that, you have the low from 2 days ago. You have the highs from yesterday, then the high from 2 days ago. So don't need to add any more towards the top. Plenty of levels in there. Towards the bottom, next low of the pre-market is right at around this moving average, 187.20. And by the way, guys, if you notice that I don't put it exactly on there, I'm saying 187.20 because I'm looking up here, and here you can see the exact number of the low. So if you're not aware of this, here's your high of the day and low of the day. So high of the pre-market 191, low of the pre-market exactly 187.20. If you're picky, you can double click on this. And you can configure the line, and you can actually, you'll get this pop up here, and you can actually put 187.20, and you'll move the line right to it, right? If some people are like that. But again, that's how I'm getting that number. So if you say, well, why is Carlos reading out 187.20, but he's putting the line at 187.19? I'm looking up here for that. All right, so towards the bottom, we have, wow, this is a very nice level here, 184.61. Look at this. Here, support, clear support here, nice bounces. Now you have some moving averages coming in as well. So again, Facebook's in a very very interesting situation here on the daily. So we just needed to pick a direction and go. And if it can break out these 2 areas, we can possibly have a nice run here. Nvidia is also good on the daily, so I'm going to watch this as a possible. I'm not going to watch Apple as a possible. I'm going to take this one out. Roku I'm going to watch because Roku tends to have these slow pre-market activity, and then it can really run one way or the other. Towards the top, we have plenty of levels. I'm just going to remove them. Let's do them real quick. We got a little bit of time. So high of the pre-market sitting where the previous day close is, around 93.25. So we'll keep that there. Low of the pre-market, 90.59. Then below this, let's get a level right in here. This one here, 87.98. And then towards the top, you got this day over here. You got 2 days possibly over here around 95.95. You got this one. This one's close to it, not quite, but I'm gonna pick this one here because it's closer to the price action. That's the only reason I'm selecting this one opposed to that one over there. Then you have a moving average coming in here. We'll be on the lookout for that if it can get above the previous day close. Then you have the highs and lows in this area here. So I'll watch Roku. I think this will be my main list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, this will be my main list here. And then these will be some possibles I'll be on the lookout for later on today, depending how if they hit our turbo breakdown, turbo breakup scanners. We'll look out for those. All right, guys. That is what we have. We have 2 more minutes. Anything else you guys like that we have not touched on? All right, so Andrew has posted his watch list. He's watching AMD, MU, BYND, NVIDIA, Work, ABB, V, and GBT. So that's Andrew's list.
I think that's the earliest I've ever seen Andrew post his watch list.
I wonder if it has to do something because he's in Italy and probably loving the time frame.
Yeah, I'm sure he likes to sleep in just a little bit.
I keep telling him to move to the East Coast, but he doesn't listen. So yeah, so there it is, guys. That's his watch list. So he will be trading today. If you haven't seen, if you just joined us, and again, Andrew is traveling. He's in Italy, so it's a little harder to trade over there with the activity he has going on. Same thing in Facebook. You have not seen a recap for him because he has been traveling. All right, guys. Anything else? We got 1 more minute before we hop off.
I know somebody in the in YouTube chat is mentioning AeroVironment, AVAV. I would just say that generally that particular ticker doesn't have a ton of volume and can be difficult to trade. I have had both investments and swing trades in that company 2017, 2018. So just the price action on it, keep an eye on it. It can be tough to say the least.
Excellent. All right, guys, so we're going to hand it off to Andrew. He's going to come on now and go over his watch list. Take care, guys. Have a great day. Trade safe, and we'll see you tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern time.
Take care, guys. Trade safe. And if you're in the YouTube chat, you want to try the chat room, you can use the code premarket24, premarket24 with no spaces. Take care, guys.